Hi, I'm Griffin for Polygon.com, and a couple years ago I reviewed The Crew 1, and it was a very challenging couple weeks in my life. A very rocky period that I don't usually like to talk about. That game had a lot of things that I still have a lot of affection for, and a lot of things that tormented me psychically. But I was really excited to check out The Crew 2 here at E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles, California. And had a chance to actually play it at a Ubisoft event a couple of days ago. And you can turn into a boat or a plane. I really want to drive this home. You can be driving a car, and then all of a sudden that car becomes a boat or a plane at your behest. Which is something that they did not really stress, I think, enough, because it's one of the best things I've maybe done in a driving game in a long time. You obviously got to see that they have expanded the breadth of vehicles available to you in The Crew 2. There are plane races and speedboat races and motorcycles. But what's great is at any point whenever you're free driving, with the press of a button, you can change between your currently equipped car, boat, or plane at will. So imagine, if you will, you hit a ramp and you're in midair, and then you press the plane button and you transform into a plane, and all of a sudden you're flying, and then you fly over a river, and then you drop into it and you're in a boat. It's radical every time. I played the game for about a half hour, and I did it I did it too much, beyond the point where it made sense to do it anymore. I just got really excited to be a car driving down the street, and all of a sudden I'm a boat that has been marooned in the middle of New York City. It's hysterical and amazing, and honestly, really, really exciting. So the thing that is back from The Crew that made me, that I really loved from that game, was the sort of kind of condensed map of America, which is still like a pretty enormous video game space that you can check out. We were only allowed to see what New York looked like in the demo that we played, but it is absolutely gargantuan. Like, I spent a lot of time pretty much just all in Manhattan, and Manhattan is bigger than a lot of game worlds that I've explored. And being able to turn into a plane and fly over all of that really gives you this pretty incredible sense of scale that the first game lacked. Like, it really made me appreciate just how enormous this world was that they were making. Some other tweaks that they've made, I got to do an off-road race, and those were in the first The Crew game. That was one of, I think, 5 sort of driving disciplines that you could do in the first The Crew game. But they've completely retooled like how all of those feel. In the first The Crew, you'd be like driving a truck on a mountain, and it just kind of felt like a slower, clunkier version of the supercars. You were just driving, you know, up the Pacific Coast Highway. They've retooled how it feels pretty much entirely. The buggy race that I did basically had these checkpoints that we could drive to any way we wanted to. There were no roads we had to stick to, and the checkpoints were like 1.5 miles away. So you could take a path through a forest that would be really dangerous, but it would be the fastest, straightest line if you could avoid all the trees. And the buggies that we were driving felt so different from the cars that we were driving on the street. They were really, really heavy, and they just like clung to the ground in a way that was really, really satisfying. The boat races, I wasn't expecting much from, but that was actually probably the most fun I had racing while playing the demo I played of The Crew 2. The speedboats, like, they turn on a dime. There's a little bit of sort of aftertouch that you can do when you're in the air if you do a jump. So you can kind of angle your nose down and sort of dive into the water. You can press forward the whole time to go a little bit faster, but if you get hit by like a rogue wave, it's going to be a lot harder to stay on your steady course. Or you can pull backwards, so you can like sort of manage those waves a little bit better, but you'll be driving at a slower speed. There's a lot more nuance to the boat racing than I was expecting, and I really enjoyed it. And the planes are also just really fun to race also. We did a race where we had to kind of fly through these floating pylons that I was really bad at. It's so completely different from street racing and boat racing that I feel like I needed a lot more time to practice at it and get better. Just like in The Crew 1, the map is scattered with these little mini events that you can do that you can earn loot from, which will then increase the level of the vehicle that you have equipped. One of the coolest events I did in the plane was a acrobatics course where I had to not only fly through these rings in the sky, but I had to fly through them while my plane was at a particular angle, which was a lot to sort of keep track of, but I really, really enjoyed. My only hang up is the crew also demoed really well. It had really good driving mechanics and one of the coolest maps I've seen in any video game ever. But it was sort of marred by all these sort of experience ruining AI issues where cars would crash and spawn in right in front of you at a standstill, which would wipe you out. And I don't know, I feel like you need to play a lot of a game in order to sort of start experiencing that stuff. But I'm hoping they can learn from what went wrong in the first The Crew game. After playing what I had a chance to play, I came off really optimistic. If they can stick the landing on some of the technical issues that, again, made the first game just an openly hostile racing experience, as long as they can avoid that stuff, which time will tell, I think The Crew 2 could turn out to be the racing game that I really wanted the first one to be. That's what I thought of The Crew 2. You can stay tuned here on our channel for more previews and impressions of the games that we saw at E3 2017. We still have a lot of stuff to see, so stick around. I'm gonna go back to enjoying this chilled glass of my own blood.